And staying on January 6th, one of the protesters who assaulted former D.C. police officer Mike Fanone will spend the next 7 years in prison. Kyle Young, a Trump supporter who was at the Capitol on January 6th, was sentenced to 86 months in prison after pleading guilty in May to a felony count of assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers. Young brought his teenage son with him to the Capitol and was part of the mob that dragged Officer Fanone into the crowd, and then he handed a taser to another rioter who then shocked Fanone in the neck. At his sentencing, Young spoke directly to Fanone and apologized, saying he hoped the former officer could forgive him one day. Fanone also spoke at that sentencing, telling Young he had prevented him from finishing his career in law enforcement and that he should have been given a 10-year sentence. Fanone added, quote, "I hope you suffer." After Fanone spoke, a supporter of the January 6 defendants who was in the courtroom shouted out, calling the former officer an expletive. There was a brief stare down before marshals escorted the supporter out. So, Joe, that's a long prison sentence for that guy who admitted to his crimes. A lot of it is on camera, part of why he had to admit to it. But also interesting, the judge, the federal judge, Judge Jackson, when handing down the sentence, made a longer and bigger speech about the people who drove people like Kyle Young to the Capitol, Republican leadership who stoked these fires, who fanned the flames and sent them to the Capitol.
Yeah, some of the very people who want to run the House of Representatives over the next couple of years. I mean, one of those who tried to help Liz Cheney out of the chamber on January the 6th didn't get a kind word from Liz Cheney, who said, "You caused this." And now, as then, Liz Cheney was right. So many of these Republicans stoked the fire. The judge was having none of it yesterday, and she condemned the attack in the harshest terms, said she couldn't believe that he did what he did with his son there, and then took aim on Republicans, took aim on Donald Trump. It says the judge rebuked Republican leaders who she said were so fearful of Trump that they wouldn't contradict his lies about the election. Some, she said, were cagily stoking civil unrest amid ongoing investigations into Donald Trump's conduct. I mean, Mika, it's just, again, it's just so striking. You just have to stop yourself every once in a while. It's so striking that you still don't have Republicans aggressively calling out what happened on January the 6th, still spreading conspiracy theories, as we saw a couple of days ago, trying to say that some guy was an FBI plant. Again,
why would they want anything
still
to
spewing
do with
conspiracy theories, and again, beating the hell out of cops. Again, these people are the same people who are saying, put us in charge because Democrats aren't supportive enough of police officers. They're the ones beating up, their supporters are beating up police officers. These Republicans are the ones lying, saying, oh, it's just a bunch of tourists.
Right.
I'm talking mainly about the House Republicans, and they just won't call these people out.
No.
They won't condemn them in the harshest terms. And you still have an officer almost beaten to death, getting sneered at and verbally abused inside of a courthouse.
You have the head of the Oath Keepers on trial for many charges, including seditious conspiracy. Why would any Republican leader want anything to do with this? Why? It's number one, it seems so demented.
Yeah.
And treasonous. But number two, why would you want to be affiliated with anybody who would do damage to our democracy, hurt cops, try and kill cops, and try and interrupt our process? I don't understand. What's the win here?
And not only that, talk about defunding the FBI.
Nuts.
The top law enforcement agency in America, and beating the hell out of police officers on Capitol Hill. So this
you can't take a stand on this.
It's all situational support. These people, so many of these House Republicans will say, yes, we support democracy so long as our candidate wins. And yes, we'll support law enforcement so long as law enforcement doesn't enforce the laws, so long as law enforcement doesn't protect Madisonian democracy, so long as law enforcement allows our guy, the cult leader, to take top secret classified documents out of a government building, steal them, and store them illegally in his beachside resort. It's all very situational. It's all really grotesque. And you just wonder, where is the shame? Where is the shame in this Republican Party?
We'll be following the many trials in play here. It is time now for